Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Traders Lab. I'm your host, Tom B. Can I please get a screen and audio check in YouTube and the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community? Marty strikes again. Hey, Marty, thank you. And okay, one moment, guys. All right, thank you. Thanks, Willard's ambiance. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Traders Lab. I'm your host, Tom B. Appreciate you stopping by the lab today. A little couple announcements for you. The first one is I am streaming from Costa Rica, and infrastructure can be, I think the term is spotty. So if I do drop out, come over to YouTube. If I drop out of YouTube, due to internet dropping, it takes a couple minutes to recycle, assuming it comes back, and then a new YouTube stream or link should start automatically. Is that correct, Dan? So, correct. Okay, so if you guys are in YouTube or you're in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community and Discord goes down, I don't think it'll restart, will it, Dan? Basically, I would have to manually restart it, or we'll just go over to YouTube. Is that correct, Dan? Okay, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. And I got a nice ant running over my screen here. Get out of there. See, when you're down near the equator, you got all kinds of creatures running around. So let's get going, guys. Thanks. And I do have some important announcements. Bookmap has a Cyber Monday offer. And also, I have heard a rumor, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Black Friday opportunity is still open. That's, I believe, 3 months. But I don't have that one handy. Dan, if you have that one handy there, if you can post that in YouTube and maybe put it up in the Trader Lab, for those who might want to get on this, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, these are all good. And I still think you can get the Black Friday one. So I don't know if that's accurate. So I don't want to mislead anybody on that one. General disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice or recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please remember, this is not a trade calling room. This is for educational purposes only. And also, you are all invited to the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community, as well as the Bookmap server, which has education, and it's open to everybody at no cost. Stocks, options, crypto, order flow with a high tier tool like Bookmap, options, swing trading, algorithmic behavior, and of course, order flow. These are all things that I believe you should have in your quiver. So let's try to get going here. Since I'm on a laptop in Costa Rica, one never knows. So let's see if we can get things rolling here. And remember, if I do drop out, YouTube should restart on its own. And by the way, here's the Cyber Monday opportunity, $39.60 for the first month. But there's also that other one going. So guys, Black Friday, check that out while the window is open. Also, if you're visiting here in YouTube, thanks. I'm a little discombobulated because I'm on a laptop in Costa Rica, so things are a little funky. I just have to keep things working. This is also what's available in Trader Lab. There's 60 PDFs of the structured trades I refer to here in the stream. There's a lot more available for developing traders in Trader Lab, trade plans, other traders posting trades, discussions, comments, and it's a leveraged community. Statistics and behavior. You need to understand how the market works, why it does what it does, and how at times you can get in alignment with it. And of course, the joy of all this is the random nature of how the markets operate. These are actual trades I've taken with explanations. Anyway, all that's available in the Trader Lab and also a library of webinars specifically for this process, which is really auction market theory. How does the market work? Why does it do what it does? Why does it do what it does? And how at times might you get in alignment with it with structured trades that have a vetted statistical edge. Trading is not a video game, and it's really about edge. It's the basis of it is just like casinos operate. They only play games that have an edge. So if you look at a successful business model, really, it's not trying to catch the wiggles. It's waiting for the wiggle that has the edge. So casinos only play games that have an edge. They don't make games up. They don't get bored. They just deal the cards. If you're going to play blackjack, it's blackjack. That's the way it is. Well, in our business, it's really the way it is. Structured trades. And if you come to Trader Lab, you'll understand what this business is. And many of us who are, come into trading cannot relate to it in the true sense of what it actually is. We bring certain beliefs with us that may or may not have anything to do with the business. And then we try to make it fit our beliefs when in reality we might have a dysfunctional belief in the sense of how it applies to this environment. So if you're not having the success you want, or you're just getting ahead, going behind, it's like 3 steps forward, 5 steps back, which, by the way, is kind of normal. Random outcomes, random behaviors, random wins. Remember, gamblers win in the casinos. Casinos pay the gamblers. But over time, it's not the gamblers who are walking out with the dough. Just something to think about. Okay, RTH Open. And by the way, if you have questions, please post them in YouTube and also the Bookmap Discord community. And remember, there's a link in the bottom of YouTube if you're interested in visiting the Bookmap Discord community. There's no cost. Take advantage of all the resources as well as the additional education of Bookmap. And don't forget, if you ever wanted to get your hands on Bookmap, now is the time to do it. I wish when I started with Bookmap, which I think is 2015, that there was a Cyber Monday or a Black Friday, but I will tell you, for me, I wouldn't trade without it because I don't use indicators, and it's not that you can't, but traders need to understand market mechanics before they think about indicators, in my opinion. They kind of get the horses, they say, backwards before the cart. What's the market doing? Then it's alignment. And certain indicators at certain times may align with certain conditions, but it's not generic, my opinion and my experience. And going on 45 years of doing this, both professionally and otherwise, I've got some experience. Doesn't mean it's, it's just an experience. But I've done what you've done. So, we all do the same stuff because we think trading is one thing. And until we kind of figure it out, we're going to keep doing the same thing, looking to get a different result. And because of the random nature of it, we're going to have winning trades. It's one way to keep you going down a dead end. I call it Trader Groundhog Day, RTH Open. So I posted in Trader Lab this morning to look for buying followed by selling. Why would we look for that? Well, what happened on Friday? Now, I took Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, I eliminated that for the data, but look what happened on Friday. Black Friday, everybody, S&Ps must have been on sale because we made a new all-time high. So I included Friday's behavior, but not Thursday. So really what we have is a consolidation. I'm going to try doing something here without blowing things up, guys. So let me know. Can you guys see a chart here? This blue background, is that showing up? Yeah, okay, thanks. Marty, quick. So this is Friday, this is Wednesday. So this is a consolidation, and we broke out on Friday. Now, one other little piece to show you. This up here is the highest volume from Friday. Let me try to get this a little further for you. So this is Friday, and this 51.5, I think it was, is the retail price. So let's look at this from an auction perspective. If the value is moving higher, so this one, where were we here? It's here. This day, Wednesday, the value is here. I might have these wrong. I don't know. And this is Friday's value. The yellow lines are called volume point of control. And a volume point of control, it's like shopping. Wherever high volume takes place, that's kind of where everybody agrees. Okay, this is retail. Just think of it like shopping. Trading is not complicated, in my opinion. The issue, and let's redefine what it is. It's random and it's completely uncertain. That's what it is and will always be. But we can draw some conclusions. Now, the thing about value, and this is what auction market theory is, and actually the purpose of the market is to figure out what it's worth. Well, good luck with that, right? So what do we have? We have the rotations in the auction. That's what this is about. So if we come down and test here, and this is too low, then north of the border. And we could always do anything. Now, there's another piece to this. This morning, as I mentioned to you, I suggested the following. We would get an early buying and then the counter rotation. So now you're going to ask me, Tom, why you say that? Well, this is called the opening trade. And the opening trade, I always encourage Trader Lab participants not to trade it. And of course, many Trader Lab participants, just like you, are victims of FOMO. And FOMO is really a big deal, and lack of emotional and self-management. And it's not really, it's something that's endemic to trading because of the uncertain environment. So we're stimulated, fight and flight, and I call it Jekyll and Hyde is the lunatic that resides in our head. And Hyde is fear of loss, fear of missing out, revenge trading, urgency, and it's chemically based. So there's more to this and to manage these issues than there is that meets the eye. So it's not willpower. It's training and understanding. That's what Trader Lab's built on. Let's look at the open here. RTH open. This yellow line's called developing volume point of control. By the way, how we doing? Is everything cooking appropriate here in YouTube? You guys hearing me okay? By the way, if you're visiting in YouTube, please give a thumb up, a like. Also remember, if the stream drops out, it'll recycle, and in a minute or two, it should come back. Okay, good. All right, thanks. Okay, so RTH open. So we anticipate a couple of things. First of all, we are opening higher inside of yesterday's range. There's yesterday's high. That was Friday's high, all-time high. We have the naked volume point of control. Let me give you some statistics. So we're opening higher inside of yesterday's range. And these stats are available to everyone in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. Of course, past performance, not indicative of future results. You got to vet all these for yourself, but the Trader Lab is a team. You want to join a team, leverage the collective experience of the Trader Lab, you're all invited. There's no cost. So taking out the ETH high or low is a 93% probability. Taking out the first hour's high or low, called the IB, wherever that went, it's up here, first hour's high or low, over a 97% probability. Taking the overnight volume point of control, 82% probability. It's over there. Overnight mid, and these are important, so just be patient, please. Overnight mid, 72% probability. Overnight high, 69% probability. First hour's high, 68% probability. Previous point of control, this, 67% probability-ish. And previous high, 54%. So there. So why are statistics important? Because this is about edge. This is about probabilities, not prediction. If you say you expect it's going to do such and such, you don't understand that you've now closed your mind, even on a subconscious basis, to the other possibilities. You also got to train your own self-talk and your vocabulary. Everything must be thought out in this business. Not you expect. How about it can potentially do this? It might do that. Not it will. There is no it will. There is maybe. All this is part of becoming a career trader if you choose that other than just visiting. So let's look at this. So we are looking for buyers who did not buy yesterday. Oh my goodness, the FOMO crowd, up we go. If we run out of buyers, then we can counter rotate and take out the opening swing low. So we open a little wobble, and now we're looking for continuation buyers. And remember, we have this high probability below us, about a 67% probability. We have full session VWAP, always exciting. We have yesterday's high probability target. Okay, so let's look. Now for me, I'm looking for the buyers. So I have choices. Now I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I have no opinion on a right or wrong. It's not me to be right or wrong. It's for me to just trade my trades, and the market either does what it's going to do or it doesn't, and I take a stop, or I get a scale and take a stop, or whatever happens, right? And you really need to look at this somewhat without a right or wrong. The right or wrong is a function of your trade plan. And either then the market basically is, goes with it or does something else. We pay to find out. So down, now I see my buyers, and I'm looking for yesterday's high. Actually the overnight high, which is, I think, right on top of this here somewhere. Maybe it's up here. I don't know where the ETH high is. I think it's covered up. So yesterday's high, we have a high probability of getting there, if you guys remember. And I don't have that statistic right in front of me. I don't think. Hold on. About a 55% probability, but the trend is up. So wobble, long, yesterday's high is a target. So we have opening swing low. Right here is a stop sweep. Now, remember sweeps. Now, nothing is mechanical in trading. If you're looking for mechanical, you're not gonna have fun, because it's not. If it was easy, hey, everybody would have an ATM in the basement. This is not easy. And the thing that's not easy is the randomness of it and the uncertainty. That's what gets us, because we're looking for certainty. And most retail traders start out looking for certainty with indicators. If I get enough indicators and enough time frames, it'll be more certain. I'm going to assure you, now, unless you're an exception, and if you are, that's great. Come to Trader Lab, help straighten us out. There is no certainty. There's always maybe. So right here, absorption. Buyers are above these sellers. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily it's a long. It just means, oh, that's nice. And now the profit takers in here, open lower, and now you get your buyers looking for continuation. Here's your stop sweep. Now the sweep right here, often what I see in sweeps, and you have to vet this for yourself, is the opposite behavior. So if I see the sweep down, in other words, now I'm looking for continuation higher. My target would be there. Now I don't have a long unless I have enough range and it fits my trade plan. So, but I do have the trend with me. So possibility is we're going to go higher. Now, again, no clue. Let's watch. VPOC migration. So this is what it says. This is too low. This is now the new retail price. I'm going to market. This is a process, and I developed this process, and I've shared it freely in the Trader Lab to try to read a real-time auction. In other words, this is continually developing as buyers and sellers try to figure out what's too high, what's too low. So right here, we know we have too low because of the absorption, only in hindsight. Over here, we pull back to developing volume point of control, and there's a sweep. So this sets up a potential long, but it's not a good long as far as I'm concerned. but there's your sweep. This is potential support in here. This is advanced. This is microstructure. This is more advanced processes, and in TraderLab, we do get advanced. Pull back here. I don't discuss this one. We also have VWAP, and we have yesterday's high, which we did not get to over here. We take it here. If you have enough range, happy days are here again. If it doesn't qualify, then you don't take this trade. Here's what's important. Here, let's assume this trade does not qualify. This is a structured trade in the TraderLab. This you would be getting long, but it has to qualify. So let's say from entry, which could be here or over here, and this is your support, you have to get back here, and you have a high probability of taking the high out. Okay, so this is your, all you got is this to this. Then wherever, and the wherever is, do you feel lucky, as Dirty Harry would say, because that's all you got, luck. So long obstacle, if it fits yesterday's high above here and everything. Now this is resistance, variable high volume node, support, clear, support. Now your support is here at this high volume node, and as far as we know, we're going to the moon. So let's keep an eye on it. Now, right here is the variable high volume node. And for me, these act like support and resistance. Right here is the sweep. There's a micro high volume structure. It's right here. This is my support. This is support. This is resistance. I take it out, it becomes support. Support, resistance. I break under here. Warning, Will Robinson moment. Where's my resistance now? It is there. And this is also microstructure up here. It is too high. But I don't know this until hindsight. But I'm going to put a little line up here in case we come back and visit it. So right here, when we break below this, and if we can't regain this, then potential south of the border. And we're going to, and the reason at the top of, I posted a TraderLab this morning before they opened was, look for the buyers who did not get in on Friday because they were out shopping, and then look for them to get taken out. Do not rush in. Is everybody tracking? Did we drop out here, guys? Okay. Poor lot, Tony, you got to put another quarter in the slot. Okay. How are we doing in YouTube? Guys, please give a like. Well, that's the sweep. These bubbles, or I should say, you have the green bubbles are delta, and these purple are the sweeps. So after a sweep, you want to see what happens after the sweep. So that's why this is important. And there's your test of the sweep. It's all in Bookmap. You can go there. Thank you, Stephen. Rajesh, go to bookmap.com. You can see the sweep, or we do have Bookmaps offering Cyber Monday and also Black Friday sale. If you want to get your hands on this is the time to do it. I think you can get 3 months of Global Plus at a substantial discount. And it's only going to be open for a couple of days. You might want to do that. Okay, so nobody knows, too high, that's nice. Break low, come back here, right here, resistance, too high. This now sets up something called mean reversion. Now, opening swing low is down here. If we get our buyers in this leg and then we break below this and test it, and these buyers are absorbed, then the stops are here. Then what do I anticipate? Taking them out. Because these buyers have their stops under here. Now, this is called the opening swing trade. And the opening swing trade, and since I first came on a couple years ago and started the Trader Lab, I've said don't trade here for developing traders, because you need to have a very full and complete understanding of market mechanics. Trading is not mechanical, it is contextual. And you need to understand that the buyers that would come in, I'm sorry, I was just reading Stephen. He's jumping around. These buyers in this leg have a good probability, and I don't have a statistic, but it's just behavioral, of getting taken out. Market goes up to go down, and the market goes down to go up. So longs in this leg get filleted. Shorts in this leg will get filleted, or not, but that's how you need to be thinking. So let's look. This was the retail price from Friday, highest volume. Remember, you go shopping, the fair price is what's agreed to by the shoppers. So high volume is retail. So, and these green lines are microstructures. They are retail, and this is what it looks like. This is a distribution of volume. Inside of this is too high, too low, retail. And that's what this is, this green thing right here. So this is this is a consolidation. That's the outside edge of this consolidation. And when you break away, it is saying at the moment, too high. Then we come down and we start a new wherever consolidation. And this auctions, and then we're looking for too low. So let's follow the yellow brick road. Where were the stops? Opening swing low. Now, once you take these guys out, remember, we have this as our retail price from Friday. So the possibility is to come down and check this. This really too low? Watch. I don't know. So possibilities are right here. If we take the opening swing low out, and now this may not be a structured trade for you guys, and that's fine. I still have a high probability of this, and I have a high probability of getting to settlement. Now, this is one of those trades where it's subject to your plan. I still have this open, and I have statistics below. So, do you take this trade is the question. And I'm going to say that's up to you. And the reason I say that is it might not be my trade because I'm looking for this for a long. I'm not looking for this. So let's see what it does. VPOC migration. So this is too high. This now, watch the yellow line. This is considered a moving retail price. That yellow line is where the volume is. And what the market tends to do is auction. In other words, what about this? I don't know. Well, what about this one over here? Nah, this too high. What about this one? I don't know. This too high. So as it auctions, it moves around. So what's it saying? Buyers are here. Too high. I have, here, let me just make sure I got all these in here. Resistance. Come back to this white line, variable high volume node, resistance, break below it, come back and check it. Too high. This is a low volume node. So forget, we rejected this at the moment. If I can't get back into it, whoa, something's really weird here. You know, I've got multiple monitors here, and typically I'm running 3, and this graphics card might be going, what are you doing? I posted a picture of this, by the way, in the Trader Lab, my setup here in Costa Rica. So, too high. Don't forget, too low. Now, I don't have a trade here. I'm like going, what's going on? because what we're doing is this is two-sided trade. So for me, I'm just sitting here going, I don't know. You ever do that? I do it. And if I don't have a trade, I just wait. I don't care. Now, settlement, naked volume point of control. Now, right here is my next structured trade in this area. Now, remember, trading the auction, there's no precision. These are areas, and this is all generated by participant behavior. Now, remember, the trend is up. So what we're looking for me, primarily was shorts coming down. This is a target, and I have other targets below. Let me show them to you. Primary target is there, and then overnight, mid, overnight volume point of control. This, okay? So these are also high probability statistics. So, but this is my closest high probability statistic on the downside. So let's look. Questions, by the way, guys, please post them. Yeah, the hemp chat. Yeah, good. If you're going to purchase the Black Friday special, I would say get over there and do it as soon as we're done with the stream. Thanks for a lot, Tony. Okay. Remember, guys, I'm in Costa Rica on a can and shoestring, and monkeys jump on the cable here. Things can get nasty. If I drop out, I will come back in YouTube. I'm not sure about Discord. You guys can go over there. So thanks for your patience with this. So this is our target coming down, settlement and naked volume point of control. There are statistics. I touched on them at the top of the stream. By the way, this stream is available exclusively to Bookmap Discord Trader Lab participants. If you're interested in reviewing these streams, by all means, come to the Bookmap Discord community. So this is now micro high volume structure. I call this trading in fractals. And what is a fractal? All it is, let me try to get this right, is high volume. So where's the high volume? Well, right here, this is an auction. So chop, 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 break low, break high. So what this is showing us is absorption. Sellers going to zero, right? Sellers, and why does it break above this volume? This acts like a volume point of control, except I'm in a shorter time frame, as you think, of fractals. So this little thing here, let me try to draw this for you. You see this low volume, retail. So if this chop chop is an auction, too high, too low. Now, I don't know it's too low. I see the selling. This is delta. But why does it break above it? Because it was absorbed. Now, we don't know that until hindsight, in the sense of why didn't it just keep going? I mean, if you see these here, they just keep going, right? Well, there's no absorption. Now, here there's some absorption. Buyers are here. Resistance is there. Sellers are here. You see how it went up? Because there was absorption there and there. So the opposite is the sellers are here, and I get my buyers here. But I don't get above these sellers. The way I interpret this, and it's maybe just a rationalization, but it's a way my brain puts these ideas together. If we had aggressive sellers, that's delta. And here I have buyers, and I get my buyer here, but I don't go anywhere. It's the same as the sellers not getting anywhere down here. Passive sellers are here, but where'd they come from? Over here. So if you want to sell something and you get a rotation, you go, oh, really? I can sell you some more? Here. Have some more. Thank you. And they run out of steam. Now, no way to know until there. This is micro, and you can see it right there. Micro high volume. There's the green line. This is a retail price in this consolidation right here. When I break below it, and I'm going to draw it for you so you can see it, and I'm spending time here today just because I want you to see kind of how you can navigate. Now, the lines I'm drawing, or trying to draw, are to help you see structure. Okay, when I'm trading, I'm not drawing the lines. You can. And Bookmap does a decent job of that. So right here, too high, and that gives me this. Now let's look at the opposite. Chop, chop, break low. Going to zero, Lewis. Break high. Change in behavior. They were absorbed, and I come here to the top of this. So if you were going to get long, you're coming back to here, and your stop would need to be below here or below here. Up to you because of the high volume. Let's look at the language. Too low. Out here, definitely too low. Don't know. But the crossover is the potential trigger, and this is called mean reversion. This is the mean, in other words, the retail price in the full developing daily time frame. That's one fractal. So that's the whole day, yellow line. Inside of these little structures, it's the same. Think Russian dolls. It all behaves the same. Once you understand the language of the market, then you can stay in alignment. Can't predict it, but you can understand it. And this is what speaking the language of the market is. And you got to learn to speak a foreign language. I know. It's like playing a musical instrument or speaking a foreign language. Are you guys tracking? I'm still not used to this in Costa Rica on these little monitors. Things disappear and pop back in. I just have to get some things tweaked here. And Forlot Tony was on with me yesterday when I was testing things out. I had a lot of problems here. And Tony, thank you for being there yesterday. So we come back up. Variable high volume node. So outside. So this is our ballpark. Now the trend is up. So I would suspect we want to be getting long. Now nobody knows if you get long here, this is your scale. And then we're looking for it to come out the top, but let's see. And where do we come? Let's just watch. Let's watch where is our support? Under here. And where's our area for getting long? Here, there. But your stop's got to be out here. Resistance is this. So let's look. See where, watch the behavior. Now, I do have to say that this is not easy trading. In this sense, it's not clear. And you have to have a structured trade for this. Why is this? Let me just do something here. I'm going to try something. When I say try, and that's basically what I'm going to do. Wow. See if I got this right. I don't know what this thing is. Whoa. Amazing. Okay, so you can see this structure. So think of this like too high. Buyers are here, sellers are here. We come out here. Now, if a buyer absorbed this selling here, let's just think of it logically, and we break below it, are these buyers going to say, oh, really? Same as those guys up here. Oh, really? Well, sellers were here, absorbed. Buyers were here, absorbed. Sellers take control over here. Buyers step up over here, absorb them. These sellers are still in control, absorb, going to zero, absorb, buying icebergs, and you don't know until you come across. When you come across, now you have support here, and this is where your stop would go. You can buy it there, depending on what your deal is and your ability to execute, but not here because of where your risk is. You would be buying it here or there or there or there and you're trying to go there, mid VWAP, because you're looking for sellers. And you have the variable high volume node right there. You see the yellow line? All these are Trader Lab structured trades. So the variable high volume nodes are adjusted as the market develops. So you're going to be moving these things around because it's the auction. Hope I got that right. Let's see, maybe not. Is everybody tracking? I'm still having some trouble here with this, but you're in Patagonia? Somebody was helping me last night from Mozambique. I thought, no, was that it? I don't remember. And somebody else in Germany. Quite amazing. Okay. And for lot Tony, needless to say. So we're in two-sided trade. Let's watch again. Notice where we come. Notice where we come. This is advanced Trader Lab because you can learn this. But, and again, I don't use indicators. Now, I don't know what your indicator is going to tell you. You know, it's kind of a mystery to me. But let's look at where we're coming. This is where your absorption was. This is your long trigger. If you can't get it here at the top of this consolidation, you get it there, you get it there, and you're trying to go here. Back here, back to here, and you're looking to come out the top. Why? The trend is up. Let's see. Where are we? Whoa. That's right, we had a report or something. Okay. Boy, it's two-sided. Didn't know about that. So we're looking for it to come out the top. Now remember, in Trader Lab or anywhere else, your trade plan has a couple of components built in. First of all, context, which is what's this thing doing? I think up might be reasonable. The other part of it is you have to, when you put a trade on, it has to have a statistical edge, and you have to have a trade management process that supports the edge. The outcome of any trade is random. So the fact that we think it's going to go to the moon, which it may or may not, has nothing to do with how you manage your trade. Absolutely not. So let's look. So, and trade management is something that individual traders determine for themselves. And where was our location? Let's come back. I think we took this out. This is a key location, remember? So for me, I have no short, just me. Doesn't mean you can't. But from a trade management point of view, right here, we get too high. We also have this, the IB high and a high volume node. This was the high. We break down from here. Now here, no clue. It's not my thing. I see absorption here, 700 stops coming out. It's a wonderful thing. And then we break high. So for me, it's two-sided trade. I tend to get on one side. I don't try to trade two sides. I know statistically I want to be on the long side. And I came back and took out these buyers, including us, I believe. This was our outside edge, and we tested under it. So what happened here? Now, just because it happened doesn't mean, you know, we know there was absorption here at this low. So what we did is we came down, took out the stops, 748, and there's the absorption detector. So I'm seeing the icebergs under here absorbing the stops under this low. Now, if you're in Trader Lab, you would know, and we have something else going on here too. Sweep. So I have a sweep. And if I get a sweep, I'm looking for a reversal. That's number one. And you could go to bookmap.com and watch Just look around in there, rummage around. You're going to find examples of sweeps. Go to the knowledge base, watch little videos, snippets on sweeps. You need to understand how an order flow tool gives you a potential edge over other traders. So when I see absorption, remember, see the seller? Why didn't it go down? Because I've got buying icebergs. What happened here? 700 sell stops. Thanks for playing. Absorbed. And all that happened, and again, we don't know. This is part of, the joy, is they took the stops under these buyers. Look at this. 1,300 buy icebergs went off in here. Well, we got more buying icebergs, and we just took those guys out. Okay? So now what? I'm at a location, and again, trend is up. And the idea is, if it's in your trade plan, to recognize the potential. Sweep, absorption. So sweep, absorption. There's your sweep. Absorption's right there. You could see it. We're back at our location. We popped under it. Test. Break high. Now, I would not be taking a long here just because I don't have a way in, and I would be going, what's going on? And yet I do want to get long. So I would not take that long because I wouldn't have a trigger for it. It's just hard. In other words, it's just not my plan. I just don't care. I don't have FOMO at this point. I just wait for my trades. Now, we have another trade here called the IB continuation trade. And what it is here, right here, when you break above the IB and you pull back to an outside edge, this is called, it's a structured trade in TraderLab, and it's called the IB continuation trade. TraderLab, are you guys on this trade? And please, by the way, if you're in YouTube, please give a like. It does. I'm getting a question that do stops and icebergs work for crypto? No, it doesn't. It's CME only for the MBO data, but there are other tools for crypto. There's I believe, a liquidation tool and some others. You can always check out. We have streamers specifically for crypto. How we doing in YouTube? How we doing in YouTube, guys? Everything making sense here? So IBC structured trade, here's how this would work. So you break through the IB, pull back. Now the pullback, when you see this, there's no trade here. For me, I need it to come back above. Now where's my support? I've got support right here. I've got this, and I've got yesterday's high. So there's a long in here, and this is actually your long right here, or here, and you have to get risk neutral. Now, since we're at all-time highs, there's really not much you can. There's no targeting up here. It's really trailing stops. There is a measurement, 1.5 times IB. That's the only thing I have. It's a measured move. Let me see if I have it. 1.5 IB. About a 38% probability. So you take the distance between the first hour's high and low, add half of that to the IB high. So I don't know what this range is, but let's just say 50 to, I don't know, 62. So 12. So add 6 to this, if that's right. So up to 70 or 68. Is that right, guys? 1.5 IB? Yeah, CMJ, where'd you take the IBF? You took a short? Is that right? Yeah, I'm just curious about that. CFJ? How we do it in YouTube, guys? Please give a thumb up. Remember, there is a link in the bottom of YouTube if you're interested in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. It's based on structured trades. They're available to all of you at no cost, as well as a library of webinars. And the focus is on order flow with a high-tier tool like Bookmap, auction market theory, market mechanics, how the market works, why it does what it does, how at times you get in alignment with it with structured trades that have a statistical edge. The business of trading is really probabilities, not certainties. There is no certainty. The only thing that's certain is there isn't. No. The only certain thing is uncertainty. So we're going to watch this, and the goal on this is to get up around 68.70, and then whatever you do, you have to manage the trade, manage your risk, take your stops, try to get risk neutral, go from there. So let's see what it does. Okay, the IBF CMJ is a counter trend trade in a higher time frame. If I was going to take an IBF, it would be from the bottom side, not from the top. I don't think we took out the IB low, did we? Yeah, and as far as not taking that no trigger, and it's not about confidence, it's about vetting. How can we be confident in anything other than statistics? We can't be confident in what's going to happen next. Well, Nick, good luck with that. And I mean that sincerely. I have no idea. So you took it entered 61. If saw consolidation, it was 1 to 2 ticks from it before reversal. I'm not sure. What that means. So let's keep this going here, guys. So this is longs, and why is it long? Because we already got the shorts whipped around twice. So, and in other words, we had our responsive selling, which is what we were looking for. Take out the early buyers. So we got that trade done. We got a long, and then we came down and took them out again. And all it does is put the long back on because the context is up. So if you don't have the long, the other structured trade is here. And it's 1.5 to 2 IB. That's the target on this. That's about as deep as this gets. It's measured move time because we're at all-time highs. So there is no, it's just put your helmet on. Yeah, okay, CFJ. So we didn't get it. There was no IBF on the low. You took the IBF off the high. Is that correct? So you shorted, correct? Okay, fine. Yeah, think about this. We are basically out of balance. We are making new all-time highs. This is an interesting dilemma because in the Trader Lab, we do have short, except context is number one. And once we took these longs out, and this is sort of like, pillaging and other comments I can't make here. This was where our absorption was, down here. This was our long, and it, failed. What did they do? Let's look at what they did. They came down here, and they took the stops, 1,200 stops. Thanks for playing. This is when your broker sends you the gift basket. I'm sure we've all gotten gift baskets. And there's my absorption. There's my sweep. I'm looking for a reversal. And right here, there's your reversal. So there's no short for me based on this, even if I don't get long here, you see. So I have to take a deep breath and go, oh, that was interesting, because that's kind of what I say to myself. Then I go, well, where's my next structured trade? Now, discussing specifically Trader Lab structured trades in this stream, not other things that can be developed that are more advanced. This is the long. And then it's get risk neutral and 1.5 to 2 times IB. And who knows? Are you guys tracking? That's it. So, well, CMJ, that's not invalid. Going short for the overnight mid and overnight VPOC. But I don't think we had an IB. We didn't have an IBF up here at the time. Or did we? I don't think so. Once you did this, though, there's no shorts for me. I don't know if that's, it's a little hard for me to know exactly when this stuff's going on here. Anyway, context up, longs preferred, counter rotations, opportunities to get long, or if you're subject to the fractal you operate in, you could be shorts. You could be trading. Here's the thing about Trader Lab, guys. It's not about right, wrong. It's about statistical probabilities. Some traders are going to be trading long, short, sideways, whirling dervishes. Other traders, maybe me, maybe not, might just take one dominant side, and when I see the other side, use it for trade management. There's no right or wrong to this. It's only statistics. So if you're stimulated emotionally for action, you got to get your arms around that. That's a problem, in my opinion. We're not here to keep busy. We're not hourly workers. We are in the gaming business, and we only want to play games that give us a statistical edge. I don't want to trade where I don't have an edge. Why would I do that? If I want to go somewhere where I know I don't have an edge, I'll go to casino and get the cocktails and the ticket to the buffet because I know I don't have an edge there. So why would I do the same thing here and not get the cocktails and the ticket to the buffet? Hey guys, and again, don't forget about Cyber Monday and Black Friday Bookmap sale. It's really pretty amazing. And I was, they didn't do these sales when I started with Bookmap 2015. You think I should have waited? No. Do you think Bookmap has more than paid for itself? You better believe it. Think about over thousands of trades if you could shave a tick off, or you could understand right here what's happening, why it's rotating down right here. Not an indicator, which is backwards looking and all that, but just by looking here. Why didn't it go up when you see the green bubbles? Those are aggressors. But what makes up an aggressor? Buyers. You're going to go, yeah. But buy stops come out as market orders. So they show up as delta. But delta is only one piece of the picture. It's what happens. This here, and then what do we have? The stop and iceberg detector. Look at these icebergs. Those are limit iceberg orders. These buyers, think Pac-Man, were being absorbed by those guys and others, for all we know, the limit order book, the passive side that you can't see. So right here, break, sellers are taking control. These guys are going under the bus. You could look for the tire tracks on their back. Buyers are here, selling icebergs again. Break low. That's done. So you could be trailing a stop, below here or below here, because the sellers were absorbed here. It's all up to your trade plan. Now look at the absorption we're seeing here. Let's see if we can see a reaction here. IB. So if you took a long, you'd be looking at it. There's a couple places here. You'd be looking in this area, or you would have taken it against here. So let's see what it does. If we get below here, then all bets are off. You might take a stop. I got an ant running across my monitor. Get out of here. The ants live very well down here. The only problem is you hear them when they're walking. $10.45. Yeah, no, there's no, this is not a short for me, CMJ. As soon as you come out here, the trend is up. So did you get stopped over here on this little pop up? Is that what you're, okay. Yeah, no, no, no. Um, yeah, here's the other part of this. We are over yesterday's high. So you can't, there's no short here in my world, you know. It doesn't mean you can't take a short, but you're in new all-time highs outside of yesterday's range. So that's not a place I would go short. It's the long I'd be looking for. And yeah, I take a stop on the long, so you know, joy. So we all take stops. How's that? Two-sided trade. It's definitely not a fun day. You know, I mean, we're just rotational here. So this is where you need everybody. You need active trade management. Now, here's a question for you. Not a question, really, a thought. If we come back in the IB, is it a short or is it park? Which is it? What would you do? Let's talk about that. Nick, are you still sitting short? Don't feel the reaper. Don't fear the reaper. How we do it in YouTube. Guys, please give a like. If you're visiting, there's a link in the bottom of YouTube. If you'd like to visit the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community, there's no cost. There's a library of webinars in there, 60 PDFs of these structured trades, and a lot more statistics, and of course the Trader Lab community, which is a group of like-minded traders who've come together to leverage their collective experience. It doesn't matter what you're doing, by the way. There isn't a, quote, right way to trade. The answer lies in doing the work to generate statistics. And I know that's not fun. We all want to push the button. But you know what? The casinos did the work a long time ago, and they play only games that have an edge that favors them. That's called statistics. And they play the games exactly the same way. They're not, notice what we got here. This is where we look for opposing reversals. And there's the sweep. Remember how this works. You get a sweep, a down sweep, upside reversal. You get an up sweep, downside reversals, maybe. So this is a long sweep into a level, variable high volume node, potential long. The range is a bit testy because this is an obstacle here and right there. So we need to clear. Remember though, trend is up. So for me, the only trades I have are long. For me, no counter trend in the day like this. And that's only because I'm more of a sit in the barca lounger and just trade with the trend. And why would I do that? All-time highs, yesterday's high, made a new high. This is resistance here. So if we can't get above this, then there's a possibility to come back across the range. That's what I know. So right now, and this is still hard trading. I find it's because of the ranges and the rotations. Let me draw a little line for you here. So this is where we had the absorption. Hold on a second here. Yeah, absorption was here. I think I said it was a sweep. It's absorption. And now we come down. Sellers are here. Once you reverse above, this right here is too low. So we want to see the behavior here and then at the IB, which I think is there, the IB high. So we have to clear this to continue. So that's our level. Let me see if I can get this working here. Oh, no. Yeah. No. Sorry, guys. Notice how we just tested break high. So break high, trigger, outside edges here, high volume is there. This is also a Trader Lab long if it's part of your plan. Okay, they're back in now. See this? So absorption. This is your buyers. You break below them. And here's what I say many times in Trader Lab. It doesn't mean that you mechanically buy. It says that you got to look at structure. So if you're looking for a long, I don't see a long here. I see this, and now I'm looking for it. So the bulb is on. There's my sellers, and right here, we don't know. Now look at the change in behavior. Buyers, where was my volume, my little micro VPOC? I treat them all the same way in fractals. High volume is the same as that, and as you go up in quote time frame, then you get the naked VPOC. So this is called trading in fractals. That's your retail. This is too low. There's your trigger. Here's where your volume is. There's the test. This is a long. Your stop is under here, and now you're going for wherever. This was the last place it was too high, right there. So you'd be scaling, and this is the range is very tight to get 63.50, 63.25. This is what the market offers. Either it fits the range for your structured trades or you have no trade. And if you get frustrated, oh, I'm sitting here all day, that's not the point. The point is you do not want to interact unless you have a statistical edge. And part of the edge is not only the triggers and understanding the condition of the market, it's also knowing the range to get risk neutral. So you can leave your stop down here, and the worst that happens is you scratch and your broker sends you a gift basket. And then if we can make a new high, which may or may not happen, you manage your trade. If we can't make a new high, then you're going to scratch your trade, assuming you have enough range to get risk neutral. If you don't, you will take a stop. That's trading. You guys have questions? How we doing in YouTube? Please give a like, subscribe to the channel, and visit the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. Don't forget there is a Black Friday sale going on, which I think is pretty cool. If you ever wanted to get your hands on Bookmap, this is the time to do it, really. I think it's 3 months at a special price. And you might want to go to bookmap.com if you want to look at that, because they have the sales. And there's a Cyber Monday one also. So check it out. So let's see. We need to get outside of here. So this is a potential long here, and you need to go, you're trying to get here for a scale. The other spot for a scale is here, but you don't have enough range. So this is the last high volume area right up in here that was too high. So the way the market tends to operate is if this volume here, this green line, if it's too high, the market could come down. If we find too low, it could come back and visit too high. So we're going to see if it does that. If not, that would be a stop. And that's just the way it is. Wish I had something else, but you know what? This is trading. So if you're in Trader Lab, it's really about understanding the business. Casinos pay the gamblers. They seem to do okay. We pay the other traders on the other side of our trade. We are trying to sit on the side of the table with the house because they have an edge. The casinos pay the gamblers, give them the cocktails and the ticket to the buffet. We're kind of in the same business, guys. Yeah, Barry, full session. Let's see how this works. It's two-sided trade. It's not in quote very clear trade. When you have two-sided trade, it's called mean reversion. So in fractals, this is a mean in this fractal. This is high volume right there, resistance at the IB. This is the next layer up, high volume right there, resistance. So we have support and we have, well, resistance here, but this is resistance. So we're going to see what it does. Tough trade today. Let's see. Now it's possible we come back and mean revert back to here. So this is kind of touchy right here. So right here, the following is this: long from here up to here and out the top, or fail, short from here down to here, down to there. And I'm saying or because I don't know the outcome. You pick a side and you put your helmet on. Trend is up in the higher time frame. My inclination is you take a long, you take a stop. It's life. Can't predict. So how do you prioritize inputs? Think about this. I'm seeing trades from two sides. What's more significant? Other than counter rotations, do I want to be long or do I want to be short? Well, I'm going to prioritize the longs, but I also know that if I can't get back above this, that I can come out and take everybody out with their stops at VWAP and mid. I know that also. I also know that if I get down below the IB low, I've got the overnight mid and the overnight volume point of control, high probability statistics. So what do? You got to prioritize these inputs. And for me, and it's not a recommendation, at the moment, and this always changes, since the higher time frame trend is up, and at the moment I'm outside of yesterday's range, though it's abusive, my inclination is longs. And again, if the trade fails, then how does an ant drop off the ceiling on me? Tell you, there's a lot of creatures running around here in Costa Rica. Are your green lines your levels or bookmap levels? They are high volume nodes, and they are exported from Investor RT, and these are cloud nodes. So basically they're coming off. What they're really doing, all they're doing is they're showing me the high volume in these distributions. So like this over here is high volume. It's a retail price in this. So I know it's resistance because we fell away from it. So it's like the shoppers going, I'm not going to pay that up here. I'm not paying that. I'm leaving. Well, the nature of the market is to come back and check pricing. Like this is too low here. Pricing is here. High volume. You can see it there. We come back and check it. Too low. Then I have the potential to come up here. So for me, it's longs because the trend is up. And doesn't mean anything other than if you're going to pick a side, I don't flip-flop around. I find what happened to me when I used to do that, and I've traded a lot of different ways over the years, is I might get short and take a point out or a point and a half or something. Meanwhile, I was getting short when I should have been getting long because the bigger rotations are on the upside. So the potential with the context is up. So while I'm fiddling around for a point or 6, whatever it is, and I don't know it at the time because I'm not in alignment, I'm just taking a short-term counter-trend rotation. The smart play, not the winning play, the smart play is alignment, which is this. This trade fails here. No reason for me to be short, for me. Now, other traders in Trader Lab will take shorts. And there is not a right or wrong. It's just a random outcome of something, of a distribution of data points. So for me, I don't want to be flip-flopping long, short, long, short. I do trade both sides, but in this context, I'm only trading long. At least structured trades in TradeLab, which is what I focus on here. Can you guys see why it's only long? Did I answer that, Hemp Chat? Do you understand that? Please give a thumb up in YouTube, a like, subscribe to the channel, take advantage of Bookmap's Black Friday sale. There's a lot going on in Bookmap. There is no cost. A lot of education. Stocks, options, crypto, order flow, of course, understanding algorithmic behavior, understanding the limit order book, passive participation, aggressive participants, how to read it. There's a lot of cool tools. Look at this 821 buying icebergs. Why is that happening right here? That's the absorption. The icebergs were over here buying it. Now, the fact that we go below it does not negate this. What it does is it says to me, I had an aggressive buyer absorbing these sellers. Now, the fact it goes lower, now right here I go, well, I guess, that didn't work out so good for them. But then I break high. Soon as I break high, what I know is, or assume, I'm going to say I don't know anything, that these buyers just bought some more down here. Why would you get 800 buyers over here that we know about here? And does that mean, I'm not going to buy anymore? If you were shopping and you thought this was a deal and you're in the supermarket, and then you look at the back of the shelf and they had some mispriced, you're going to look around, make sure nobody's looking, and you're going to throw those in the cart. Then when you break above this price and you test here, the micro high volume structure at yesterday's high in an uptrend, me long to where? Remember there, this is TraderLab trading. That is my long, and the way I operate with these, and you could learn this in TraderLab, is limit order. I don't chase it in spite of the lunatic in me who wants it. I put my limit 1 tick or 2 ticks above here. My stop is under there. What is that, 1.5 points? Where am I trying to go? A tick or 2 ticks in front of this. That's my scale. I would be risk neutral. And then it's helmet. And then trade management. Are you guys following me? This is TraderLab. Are you guys following? How are we doing in YouTube? Guys, I hope you're getting something from this. This is the day. This is what it offers. Our job as traders is to seek alignment, only trade where we have probabilities on our side, not predict, not make it up, just wait for your bus. The business of trading has a lot of elements to it, and most retail traders don't survive long enough here to understand what they're doing may be just random in the sense of what they do is random. Think about how the casinos operate. They are not random. They are anchored. In other words, how they play the game is absolutely the same way. They don't do anything different. Blackjack, it's always the same. Doesn't matter. Somebody walks out with a $100,000 suitcase of cash, next hand, same. We don't do that. We are emotionally attached. If you take a loss, now you're emotionally attached to the loss, even though the next trade is unique. Is that you? It's all of us. Do you get frustrated and then you jump in, over here where the trade was, the proper entry was here. Now you're missing it. Do you do that? That's normal, but not healthy to your sustainability in a business. That's what most retail traders do. And most retail traders don't have longevity, as I'm sure you are aware. So maybe you got to learn. And this is what TraderLab is. We all learn together. We're all trying to get better. I'm going on 45 years. I still want to get better. I'd love to shave a tick here, a tick there, over thousands of trades. That's pretty material. Yes, Adhill in YouTube is asking, initial balance is the first hour. And the theory, if you use the term theory, was And the reason this evolves, so you know, back in the day, market profile, down in the floor, most of the volume was done in the first and last hour. And the idea was that, and then everybody go to breakfast. We go to Manny's down on Jackson. And which is no longer there. But the first hour, if you could move the trade outside of the first hour high or low, the idea was that there was a higher time frame participant in there moving the market. That was the theory. And it was called range extension, extending the range of the first hour. So that was pretty important. And that's where it came from, Adil. I hope that answers your question. So in theory, and that's the term, theory, this is our next layer of resistance here. So this is our long. And at the time, I think we were looking for this right here, that high volume node, which is shifted, but it was there, scale before it. And so far, then we got to clear this, and then, you know, happy days are here again, or not so much. By the way, happy days are here again was in the 1920s, roaring 20s. Do we have any questions? I've got about 9 minutes, so if you got questions, throw them in the hopper. If you're in YouTube, remember, please give a thumb up, a like, helps folks find the stream. If you're interested in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community, there's a link in the bottom of YouTube, and you can access that. No cost, and you can join a terrific community of like-minded traders. You know, what's interesting, I was talking to some traders over the weekend who are doing really well, and that's a motorcycle, by the way, going by. Yes, sir. And one of them has been in the lab, I think, for 2 years. Another one, Madagascar. It wasn't Mozambique. It was Madagascar. It's been around for a couple years. And all of a sudden, it's like, where you been? Say hi. If you're in Trader Lab and you haven't said hi, hey, introduce yourself. Say hello. And contribute. Contribute to the community. The more you put in, the more you get out of it. Charts, screenshots, dialogue, interaction. That's what makes Trader Lab special. If you're interested in becoming a funded trader, in fact, somebody posted over the weekend that they got funded. Come to Trader Lab. Learn the structured trades. Learn why, when, and where, and how. And then find out where your statistical edge lies and just wait for the trades. You know, you work on your crochet while you're waiting. There's nothing else to do. So remember, too high. And we're still on these logs here. So that's all you got. Not a recommendation, you know. Today's just one of those days, you know. We're not rocking and rolling. We're just sort of wandering here. So this was the last long. You would be risk neutral here. And then either we continue north to that 1.5 IB, which I think was around 67 or 70-ish, up in that area, or not. Tech support to help me display the CDV. See, like you have it. They don't know how to do it. CDV. You must mean CVD. Is that right? Are you asking me, Victor? Is this is this it? I think that's what you're asking me, CVD, and then it's over here. How do you want it displayed? Where is it here? Yeah. So this is down the center. If you want them left justified, I have them center justified. I hope that's what you're asking me. So center. And all that this is doing is, you see the green up here, it's reflecting the delta here. So this is the same. So I'm seeing it tick by tick in here. And then I'm seeing the cumulative delta here, and that's what that is. Well, Adhill, the RTH, US RTH is when the market resets and opens. The ETH, which goes from 5 p.m. Central Time to 8:30 Central Time. Hold on. Okay. Got another ant dropped on me here. That is the RTH open. So we measure everything from RTH open, and then ETH is its own auction. So we are looking at ETH high low and also the overnight VPOC and other elements. That's all in the stat sheet. You can see how this all fits. And the other part is they fit based on context and where the market opens in relation to the previous day. So there's a number of elements that skew these statistics. Anyway, Adhill, you can adjust this any way you want. Are you guys with me? By the way, if you want to review this stream, it is available to Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community only. For screenshots, circles, arrows, things like that, which everybody should be doing. You should have your trades, like for example, this long. If you don't understand why it's a long, yesterday's high, notice alignment, absorption, break low, break high, trigger, volume is there. You could see it there. That's your microstructure. Think Russian dolls or fractals. Pull back. This is your long. Now, this is a bit advanced, so you might not take this long, right? So that's okay. But this is Trader Lab. Here's the other piece to it. We had this, and we had our absorption here. Notice we get the absorption here. Is it possible this absorption check, check, check. Well, guys, my time's up. Apologies. The power went out. Yeah, everything dropped. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks for your patience. Hopefully, the power will stay on. And this is Costa Rica for you. Things went pretty nutty over here. Please give us a like and a thumb up in YouTube. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully things will be stable. Dan, Stephen, thank you so much for all the support and keeping an eye on things. This stream will be available exclusively to Bookmap Discord Trader Lab participants to reverse engineer, review, check against their trades, and together we all get better. Use the link in the bottom of YouTube if you're interested in visiting the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. There is no cost. Also, the Black Friday sale is still going on, and go to bookmap.com if you're interested in finding out what that's about. There's also Cyber Monday, but you can still grab the Black Friday sale for the next few days, and I would suggest get yourself over there forthwith, as they say. I don't know where that came from, but it's somewhere. Trader Lab, I will do my best to get back in there with you guys, notwithstanding what's going on over here. You should have seen it. It was pretty wild. And I haven't seen the monkeys yet, so it's not their fault. Yeah, a lot of things are not working right here at the moment. It's strictly my software. It's not Bookmap. IRT is having a fit. Everything gets kind of thrown out of whack. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks again. I'll post this link in the link in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. And as always, thank you everyone for visiting the Trader Lab. If you're in YouTube, I don't know if YouTube is still going. I can't tell what's going on with YouTube, and I don't know. Is YouTube still live, by the way, guys? Oh, it is? Okay, great. All right, thanks. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Hopefully, the internet will be more stable. And the link is now posted in the Bookmap Discord Trader Lab community. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for visiting the Trader Lab. Now let's see if I can disconnect without blowing up over here.